father took my heart. Right off the bat early, his intent, his determination was to take my heart so that I didn't live as a human being. I was taught by my father to open this book and read it and get more burden, more weight, more condemnation, more shortfall, more shame. And one of the biggest miracles in my life is I can open the book now and read it for the truth that it is and the hope and life it is. Hear me, O Lord, for your loving kindness is good. Turn to me according to the multitude of your tender mercies. And one of the things that I would have changed more than almost anything in my life is I would not have abused my brothers and sisters. That breaks my heart. I just wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't think of doing something like that. But I wasn't free to think. I wasn't free to feel. I was protecting myself in the environment that I found myself. Did I ever tell you I was sorry for beating with the Madoc candle?
Yeah, you've said it a couple times to me.
Well, I'm really sorry about it, doing that to you.
I appreciate it.
You're the best brother in the world, and I love you.
Thanks, Mark.
Do you ever get those calls that say blocked or an unfamiliar number, but you have a sneaking suspicion of who it might be? You decide not to answer it, but the calls don't stop. If you're being called by a debt collector, it's not just going to go away. It's important for you to know your rights and understand your situation. Let's look at your options for dealing with debt and debt collectors. We're mainly talking about consumer debt, which is money you owe for expenses like credit cards, car loans, student loans, medical bills, gym memberships, and cell phones.
The FDCPA has protections that help you talk with the collector constructively. If you set up a payment plan, it's important that you stick to the terms of the plan or call the collector and let them know you can't pay or that the payment will be late.
If the collector violates the rules of the FDCPA, for example, keeps calling you late at night, calls you at work, or calls one of your family members, you have the right to sue the collector within 1 year of the violation.
Good debt collectors want to do what's right for their client, which is your creditor trying to collect what you owe. We'd really rather make an agreement with you and not have to take you to court.
I quickly vacated the car and started calling out for Sam, but he never answered me. He was unconscious and still strapped into a seatbelt. I couldn't do anything to help him.
I think I could recall someone trying to hold me down after, and I thought it was some dream or something.
This is Matt Lake, 3-year-old facility, 14-year-old male. Strained passenger, motor vehicle collapse.
I can remember every time someone poked me with a needle or put an IV in.
It was a lot of loud voices and, of course, this siren, and I was just trying to not look at what was going on because I couldn't really fathom it at that point. He was plugged into all these machines and he was still not really responding.
I remember my mom being there, and I asked if I would ever play football, and I didn't get the answer I wanted.
He had what we call a C1, C2 fracture, which is basically the very top of the cervical spine. That's a very critical area because it basically controls everything from the neck down. This is something you have to diagnose quickly in order to prevent further injury. Any other hospital that he would have went to would have been at least 20 minutes away. During that time, he would have regained consciousness, he would have been combative, and so if he would have went to a different hospital, this is definitely an event that could have turned out to be much worse.
Lawrence is really kind of founded in many ways on abolition and the end of slavery. Lawrence comes out of a fight in many ways, and it comes out of a fight for rights and for freedom.
We have never lost that idea of ourselves as a place where innovative thought happens, where individual freedoms matter.
People are not afraid to ask hard questions. There's a little bit of rebelliousness, I think. If you're not happy with the way things are, it's okay to push, and it's okay to work hard to make a change.
And of course, whenever there's university involved and there's young people involved, it creates energy in your town.
If you can't retain young people, you have a difficult time. And Lawrence really kind of, exemplifies that. That's why I think the arts are so big in Lawrence. I think that's why it's a hip town, and it's a progressive town, and it's got a vibe to it. There's something happening here that you don't have to explain. It's just here. And I think it comes from that combination of sports and art and politics and history and all these beautiful things that kind of came together to make a special place.
Watching the facility being built was bittersweet. There was excitement. There had been so much anticipation, and coupled with that was a sadness knowing that I had my dad in mind designing this and that he wouldn't be able to enjoy this. I wouldn't say I'm sad. I think my dad would be so proud to share what was special to him. I think it's so easy to overlook an Alzheimer's patient because as their skill level decreases and we are so busy caring for them, we forget to interact with them. And this farm is a way to provide interactions with them that will be stimulating and joyful for them. One thing Dad always taught me and instilled in me is that if you're going to do something, do it right and do it well. And Morning Star matches that.
Yeah,
they've done Alzheimer's right, they've done it well. They've not skipped corners. And I think Dad would put his stamp of approval on that. What I like about these pictures is this is the period that he was living at Morning Star. See how happy he looked there?
Yes.
That just captured what his demeanor was like while he was there. And so to walk through these doors, my hope is that you feel like you're getting a big hug. It's warm, it's comforting. If you're struggling, maybe you don't take your parent with you. Maybe you go down to the pond and have some time of reflection. And I just hope that this space helps people heal.